Welcome, Louisiana audience, to the 2018 version of HoopLA, Louisiana Legislative Basketball Game. And as you can see here, not with my usual play-by-play guy, but this man needs no introduction. State Treasurer John Schroeder, he's always prepared. And this game has been going on in partnership with Cox since for the past 17 years. But Treasurer Schroeder, this was converted to the HoopLA game in 2009, and you don't need any introduction, and you can probably give a lot of the history about this game.
Well, it's been 10 good years. You know, we turned this into a charity event, the Legislative Charity Fund. We've raised close to $385,000 in 10 years, and we're just finishing up our 10th court in partnership with the New Orleans Pelicans. It started with the New Orleans Hornets. It's been a fantastic partnership with the legislature and this professional franchise out of New Orleans.
Well, so all the planning that goes into this game and now being in the treasurer position, have you handed all this off, or are they still calling you for a lot of your old notes?
Yeah, they call constantly now. I turned it over to 3 legislators. I said, I need to get a pay raise because I did a lot better with one person. They took 3 of them to take my place.
Well, good, and we're going to be ready for tip-off right after this first commercial break. Welcome again to the 2018 HoopLA Louisiana Legislative Basketball Game. As we're getting ready for tip-off here, you can see people filing into the PMAC and Senators, House members. Yeah, good. Here, we can take a look at the Senate starters. Rick Ward, Gary Smith, Fred Mills, Michael Walsworth, and John Milkovich round out the starters for the Senate. And for the House, the starters, Blake Miguez, Edward Ted James, John Stefanski, Joe Stagney, and a newcomer, Edmund Jordan.
Well, you know, it's interesting. There's not a single House member that was out here 11 years ago. These are all new members in the last term.
Yeah, and we'll get into some of that as there'll be many more of them that will be turning out. It could be some of their last time they're playing this HoopLA game.
Well, this is a young group. All the House members will be here for a while. But as I look across the Senate, you have Senator Walsworth's the only one that's termed out.
Rick Ward misses there, and that's one of the horses for the Senate side. Senator Rick Ward, Ted James with the rebound.
Ted looks like marriage has been very kind to him since last year.
And Joe Stagney off the side of the glass. And as you mentioned, Senator Walsworth, talk about how much he's been involved with this game, the number of years that he's been doing this, Treasurer.
Well, Mike's been involved with me the whole time. It was actually he and I trying to have a conversation 10 years ago, trying to figure out how can we make this thing really take it up a notch, and he's helped me a lot.
Saw Judge Fields there with a three-pointer. No, not in the Senate. He was in the Senate, but since the Senate doesn't have the same numbers of the House, they invite a few special guests. You're just talking about that guy, huh?
Yeah, Ted James knocks down a 3.
It looks like he's been watching some Game 7s.
Well, we got a nice crowd. You know, this has been a good way for the legislators to sort of work off some stress, too.
Again, Rick Ward using that frame, getting to the rack and getting fouled. You see that he's not shy when it comes to driving it to the goal. One of the workhorses for the Senate.
I'd say he's about 20 pounds lighter than last year.
Yeah, and I'm sure the House on defense appreciates that. Yeah, it looks like he's been practicing there. No rim, nothing but net. Well, good on the first one.
It's interesting what we do with the game. It's actually a 20-minute running clock. It doesn't even stop. Clock doesn't stop during the shots. It just stops during the last 2 minutes of each half. So it runs pretty quick.
All right, and we're going to throw it to our sideline crew of Senator Dan Clater, Representative Joe Marino. They've got a special guest for us.
All right. Welcome. We're here on the sideline. Joe, got a member from your house here?
Dan, how's my hair?
Your hair looks great.
Thank you. We got Representative Vincent Pierre here. He looks like he might have injured himself before the game and pregame. How are you doing?
Doing wonderful. Just so happy to be here tonight.
So you're going to carry him at the center position?
I'm going to carry him to center position, point guard. I pretty much play all around. So I'm just so happy that we're able to be a part of this event. These funds go to a very worthy cause. Right in Lafayette, we were able to refurbish a whole basketball court, and which is great. The family, the kids love it, the people in the community love it, and I just thank Cox Communication for allowing us and putting this on each year for 17 years.
Are there any senators that you want to file tonight?
Well, there's quite a few senators I want to file. One of them specifically that didn't play tonight, we wish we could have allowed him to play, and that was Norby Chabert. He didn't play, and he wasn't a part of the event this evening. But it's all good fun, and it's a great event, and such a great cause.
Yeah, and we have a whole lineup of sponsors where Cox has been with us for 17 years, really promoting this event. And we have others going to be followed by an auction here shortly where folks will be able to bid on different items to help with those courts, where I think something may be rigged with the way that the courts have been awarded in the past, and that Major Tebow in the New Roads area has received the courts twice. Do you know anything about that?
No, I don't think it's rigged. I think that we're all in this for fun. I think that, it's everybody gets a chance to win something for the area. We're just happy, again, that we're able to do this. We've got a lot going on in the legislature.
How much money are you spending at the auction tonight?
We're going to spend some dollars. We spent quite a couple of years ago, and we're going to spend some money to try to help the cause.
We're going to go back to the game in progress. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, nice to hear from Rep. Pierre. Rep. Pierre won a court in Lafayette. Lafayette's actually won a couple of courts in the last 10 years.
And talk about the draw a little bit. How is that? Is you just put all the districts in there, and then
no, you have to qualify. So you have to first buy a ticket, and it's $100 a ticket, and then you can put in a court, and we have some, specific things. The court has to be outdoor court. It has to be open to the public, and we've really gone into some areas and really helped the communities with these parks. And the Pelicans come in and basically just paint the courts. We put up new goals, and we spend about $30,000 a year on these courts.
That's unbelievable, and a real treasure to these communities. And as you're looking at the Senate side, you notice I mentioned Judge Fields, not currently in the Senate, but we also have President King Alexander from LSU, obviously is playing with the Senate. And they also invite Justice Weimer back from the Supreme Court.
Yeah, this might be his 10th year in a row. I think he's been out every year since I've been here. So this is the first time the House only has about 15 players out. I know the Appropriations Committee's still in. We have to deal with the legislature being in and out. We didn't know what was going to happen with the special session either.
No, that's a great point. And for the viewers, I mean, to be having this game at this pivotal time with the special session going on, the budget not being resolved, and, legislators have a lot on their mind. They're working full time right now. But by the same token, maybe getting out here and letting out a little steam, a little stress, they can get back in there and maybe find a way to patch this thing together.
Well, if you notice, I actually hired some full-time college referees because we do have to help the legislators protect themselves from each other.
Well, I'm sure some of them are looking to foul certain ones. There you go, King Alexander showing off his moves, and just off the side of the goal, but launches one from three, rims out. And again, Judge Fields with the rebound. I was talking with King Alexander before the game, and he says he goes out and practices with the students here, keeps himself in shape, and you can see got good form out there.
Well, Jason, I 11 years ago now, I started a Wednesday night just a pickup game. LSU was very gracious to let us play in their recreation building, and it was just a way for the staff and the legislators who were up here all week could get out and do something fun. And it is stressful. It's a lot of work, a lot of hard work, and it gets a little personal at times. So this just gives an opportunity to get out and play.
Well, good ball movement by the House there between Representative Brass and James going up strong. And we saw one of those hard fouls by Fred Mills, and Representative James will be at the line for 2. And we're going to throw it to our sideline crew again with another member of the legislature.
All right. We're here with Representative used to be Senator Price. Welcome to the Senate. You've been there for a while. You're not dressed out this evening. Why not, Ed? You got some pretty good height on you.
Well, yes, but I've been suffering with a back injury, so I'm not in the lineup tonight.
So you hadn't been going out with Senator Chabot or anything like that, have you?
Not at all.
So what's the difference between the House and the Senate?
Well, the Senate, we get a lot more done, I think. You know, in the House, you're dealing with 105, and on the Senate side, we only have 39. So you can get a lot more things done, I believe, and it's much more cordial over there.
So the people are better, y'all are smarter, all that?
Better looking.
Absolutely. Remember, you said it.
Right.
So, Ed, let's talk about the cause for a minute. Have y'all gotten a court in your area before?
Repeat that.
So, the court that is awarded, has your district received the court before?
Yeah, we had one in the Gonzales area that Representative Berthelot and I sponsored, and we did get it. And of course, we want to thank everybody for what they've done. The parks look really, really, really great, and the kids go out and enjoy themselves every day. I've passed by there several times, and I always see the kids out there. So we really appreciate what this basketball game does for the community.
That's great.
Oh, you said that you were going to be the secret weapon for the Senate.
I am the secret weapon for the Senate. I've been down there cheering those guys on. One thing I can say, the Senate side seems to be a little bit older, but they're a lot wiser. So that's why we're still in this game.
So, truly, though, it seems like we got some pretty good height in the Senate, and we have a couple of used-to-be senators. Judge Wilson Field is in there and is doing a fine job. We have Justice Weimer in there, and then some guy from LSU. Do you recognize the guy from LSU?
Absolutely. King Alexander the President, and he's going to hit us a few points tonight and help us out along the way. You know, I used to play for the House, and I'm just sorry I'm not in there tonight playing for the Senate, because I'm for sure then we'll win.
There you go. So,
any other words of encouragement you want to give your team before they lose?
Well, by the end of this game, you'll be changing those remarks. So thank you very much for this interview.
You can come back.
all right, back to you guys. Thank you.
Well, the interesting thing is Senator Ed Price was talking smack for the House last year because he just moved over to Senate. You see how quickly your loyalties change.
No, it's all fun. You know, I do want to know how thankful I am to the New Orleans Pelicans. Miss Benson's here tonight, and you know, came to the House floor and the Senate floor today and spoke to the members. Had a nice resolution in honor of Mr. Benson. And I really appreciate Ms. Benson taking her time to come out and visit with us.
Yeah, real special recognition in what they've been for the state of Louisiana. And we see Representative Brass picking a pass off, going the length of the court and laying it up. Senator Ward missing wide. Got some new faces out there for the Senate. We've got Senator Fred Mills and Senator
Gary Smith.
Gary Smith is out there. That's Representative Stefanski, another new pickup for the House, and one that people were really talking about. He's been kind of hosting the Wednesday practices and is going to be looking to bring a lot of energy to the House side.
Well, you actually have 3 new members out there right now that came in midterm. Stefanski, Jordan, and Brass.
There you go, a replay right there. Good dump down in the post, pivot, and right off the glass. Representative John Stefanski.
I say Stefanski. I told me I didn't pronounce it right.
Well, you know, being from the North Shore, I wouldn't expect anything. There goes Representative James and knocking down another 3. He's got a serious look tonight, like he's got something to prove out there. And again, another tough defensive play by James. Down the court to Representative Jordan. Just off the side of the rim there, and sounds like we've got another interview lined up here. Let's throw it over to our sideline crew and Senator Claytor, Representative Marino. Who do you have for us?
We have Representative Beryl Abity with us. Did I butcher that up enough for you?
Beryl Amity, not too bad. So, are you enjoying the evening so far?
Yes, I am. I'm looking forward to actually getting on the court, but so far, we're way ahead, and I told them as soon as we get to 50 points, they can send me in.
I don't think we're way ahead right now, but we're slightly ahead. So, have you spoke to the coach about this?
Yes, I have. I let him know that it's been about 15 to 20 years since I played with the basketball, and it's been since junior high PE since I played on an actual team, but I am willing, because we've got to keep that trophy over on the house side, you know?
I do notice how y'all have it displayed in the frame whenever you're up at the mic, taking your bill. That's a little bit over the top, you would say.
Not an accident that we've kept the trophy on our side all that time. So what district do you represent?
I represent House District 51, which is parts of Terrebonne, Lafourche, Assumption, and St. Mary.
And how many points are you going to score today?
Well, me personally, let's see. How about 6? That's a good number, huh?
Okay. Well, you better get the coach to get you in. I mean, you can't score any points right here on the side.
That's the first step. Maybe I can assign someone to score them for me, and I'll just claim them.
Well, there you go. Well, the Senate's getting a little bit winded. They're thin on the number of folks that they have in there. So we appreciate you coming over and participating in this good cause. Back to you guys.
Well, and you can, as you heard Senator Claytor wondering if his side's getting a bit winded. As you know, the House has 105 members, the Senate 39, and so sometimes it's it's a more of a conditioning test for the Senate. They have to play a little bit smarter. And while I got a second here, 2 people that we have not recognized that we absolutely need to, and I know, Treasurer, you know a lot about them, but on the Senate side, we've got the coach, John Keller. Hopefully we'll get a shot of him. And then on the House side, Clarence Russ, they call him Smoke, and they both protect all the members of the legislature on both sides, both the Senate and House side. They do a good job with this game as well.
Yeah, and they've been our longtime coaches, and, you know, they're the head sergeant at arms in the House and Senate. It's nice to have them out. And their staff's out here, my staff's out here. We have about 25 volunteers who are out working and helping put this event on.
Representative James feeling it, letting it fly. Good rebound by Edmund Jordan, misses, and again, Judge Fields kind of helping keep them in this. The Senate's got to get up and down the court.
Well, the House members aren't hitting any shots. They had a lot of looks at the baskets, but they're not making any shots.
Right. Good rebound by Judge Fields, getting fouled and go to the line. And House has a 5-point lead. As Treasurer mentioned, we've got a running clock. We've got about 7 minutes left to go in the half. And really, a lot of times, this game comes down to, who can put it together right at the end. It's typically a pretty close game.
It is, but we'll see what happens. It's normally going into half, it's like this, and then somebody breaks out in the second half. I do really want to make sure we thank our sponsors, because it takes a lot of folks to put this game on, and the Cox has been with us since inception, along with the New Orleans Pelicans. But we do have some sponsors in Adams and Reese, AmeriHealth, Atmos, CenturyLink, Clico, Entergy, Louisiana Auto Dealers Association, Fairpack, and we have about 25 total, so they help put this whole event on, and we appreciate their help.
All right, we thank all those sponsors, and we'll be right back after this break. And we welcome you back to the 2018 HoopLA Louisiana Legislative Basketball game. As you can see, only 3 points separate the House from the Senate. 6:52 left to go in the first quarter. And you can see Ken Brass out there, Representative Ken Brass running the point, one of the new members of the House. Dustin Miller has also made an appearance into the game for the House, and also have Representative Lyons out there. So we got some new faces out there for the House side, and also Representative Bagley. President Alexander looking sharp for 3 points.
That's his first points of the evening. 2 years ago, he knocked down about 28 points.
So I was talking to him before the game, and I said, well, which member of the House do you want to foul real hard? And he told me I couldn't say which member, our members. But then he says, you know why I always get invited to this game? He says, because I have the keys to the gym.
Well, he's breaking the rules. You know, as the commissioner of this game, I had to bend the rules a little bit. I just told him they can't let him play the whole game.
All right, and we've got another member of the legislature standing on the sidelines waiting to be interviewed. Senator Claytor, Representative Marina, take us away.
All right, we're here with Representative Rick Edmonds. Rick and his lovely wife are great singers. You would never know that, but he does a great job. What do you say about this event, Rick?
Man, this is a great event, and I know all of us are so grateful for our partners, Cox Cable. They do a phenomenal job, and then New Orleans Pelicans, they've been so faithful, and this is a great charity. A lot of kids will be playing basketball because of this event tonight.
That's great.
Are you going to be wearing that on the court tonight, Rick?
Well, you know, you got me a jersey, and I must admit I left it at the house. I can't keep up with Larry Bagley. He's too tall. He promised me when we were elected 3 years ago he'd be the tallest guy in the legislature, and he's not let me down.
Well, we have a backup jersey if you want to go swing in the back and change.
Well, if you go out there with those legs, I think I feel pretty confident.
If I go out there, it will have to be with these legs.
Listen, last year and the year before, I know this is 3 years in a row that I've been involved. I think this is like 17 years. And, you know, we appreciate all your hard work. I know it's worth it all. I've seen some results from some of the kids that have benefited. So, you know, we're really thankful. A lot of fun.
All right, that's Representative Rick Edmonds, and we're here with Joe and myself. We're back to the game. The Senate's trying to make a game of it. Back to you guys.
Well, you can see there, this thing is starting, shots are starting to fall, and 18-17 ball game, well, 19-18 ball game as we're kind of flip-flopping back a little bit. And one of the members that is missing from the House side, of course we have appropriations going on, but one of your colleagues, former colleagues, Cameron Henry's been walking around with the sling. And you know anything about that? I know he misses playing in this game. He kind of lives for this game.
Yeah, when you think about that, he and Neil Abramson, and not that I was any slouch, but I'm not playing tonight. Neil's not here. Cameron's not here. So you got a few guys who have been the mainstays that aren't playing tonight. Yeah, I tell people a long statewide campaign puts you out of shape.
Yeah, I bet you also, you know, traveling all the places you've traveled, you got to have some energy to do that. There you go, Representative Pierre had a wide open look at it. And I'm not sure that President Alexander has come off the court yet. Give you an idea of the kind of shape that guy is in and that he's been playing. Oh, that look was a lot closer there by Pierre. Uh-oh. Almost lost a shoe or twisted an ankle. I think Pierre may have to come out of the game. He's kind of hobbling over there by the sideline.
I see the trainer from LSU working his way down the baseline. We might have a little problem. He's checking on somebody.
Yeah, you can see there, and he's even got the ankles taped up, I believe. But I think he may have just kind of landed on it funny as he was taking that shot.
Well, you know, when you jump a half an inch off the ground and you're laying back down on that ankle, that's a lot of stress.
See, you can go there. You served with them. I can't go there. All good friends. All right, let's see if the Senate can get some offense going here. Now, I mentioned earlier the House has been practicing on Wednesdays. I talked to Senator Walsworth about whether the Senate has been practicing, and he said, no, we're not going to practice. We're scared we may get hurt, so we need all the few bodies that we have, so we take a different approach. We got to play smarter. The Senate's supposed to be wiser, so we're just going to come out here and string it up.
Well, they wiser because Judge Fields and Dr. Alexander King, King Alexander, I'm sorry, is they carrying this Senate squad right now.
Yeah, they are. Those are and along with Senator Rick Ward, those are the typical, you know, they talk about the big three or the trio. That would be the big three for the Senate squad.
You know, Jason, it's important for the listeners to know and who are watching that this is all private money that's raised for this event. There's no state dollars. This is all donated money. A lot of legislators out of 144 legislators, about 125 actually buy tickets to the event. We have a silent auction tonight, which will raise more money, and we're looking to raise close to 40 grand tonight at this event. So we do it with a lot of help of the legislators and a lot of our sponsors.
Well, and that's important too, because you hear so much and read so much in the papers about how members of the legislature maybe don't get along or different philosophies, but this one night, even though they're competing against each other, they come together for a good cause, and they're all, as you mentioned, putting in their own money, raising money so that, important investment can be made in the community.
Well, that's one reason why we started the Wednesday night league, and just so everybody can get to know each other a little bit. When I came here 11 years ago, we had 62 new members of the House of Representatives, and I think 18 new senators. So it's been a good way for everybody to get to know each other and get a little exercise and get hurt.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I mean, we're going to be embarking up on even more change in probably a very different looking legislature. You got, I believe, about 16 members that'll be termed out on the Senate, and you've got over 30, again, that will be termed out on the House side. Now, we could see for maybe the first time, and you could tell me, a senator playing on the House side or a House side member playing definitely on the Senate next year.
This will be the first real term limits on both sides, because there was a lot of members in the House that went to the Senate during that first round of term limits. Now those guys are leaving, so you're going to have a pretty good turnover in the legislature.
Last couple of seconds, Representative James at the end. Oh, and Stefanski able to follow it up, and that's going to be the last points of the half there, where you can see Stefanski, that bucket looks like it will count, as the referees are telling us it will count. And the House will take a 1-point lead into the half, 21-20.
Nothing like
and now we will
youth.
throw it to break and be right back with you. Well, welcome back to halftime of the HoopLA Louisiana Legislative Basketball game. As you can see, the Senate versus the House. Right now, right at the end of the half, the House was able to take a 1-point lead, 21-20. But earlier, I had a chance to catch up with one of the most important partners of this game, the president of the Pelicans, Dennis Lauscha, and let's hear what he had to say.
Well, first off, the best thing about HoopLA is it's a whole bunch of fun. And the reps and the House and the Senate get to play each other. It's a lot of fun, a lot of jabbering going back and forth. And I know at the end of the day, although these guys are having a lot of fun, they're raising money too. And we've been able, in partnership with these senators and reps, we've been able to build a number of basketball courts, or rehab a number of basketball courts all over the state of Louisiana. We take great pride in that. We talk about this all the time. For us to be successful and for us to build basketball, it starts really at the youth level. And we've made major investments in that area. And this is one of these investments that started a long time ago, a program that started a long time ago. We're very proud of it. And at the end of the day, we're building some outstanding basketball courts in some great places around the state.
Well, that's amazing work, and we know all the communities around Louisiana are feeling the impact of that. Also, something else very special tonight, recognizing Mr. Benson and the Benson family. Just talk about what he's meant to the Pelicans organization, the Saints, and his willingness and generosity in giving back to this community.
Yeah, we just came from the Capitol, where he was recognized on both sides of the legislature, and he was a special man. I think, a couple people were mentioned today. He cared passionately for the state of Louisiana, and he cared passionately for New Orleans, the New Orleans area, but also the entire state of Louisiana. And he was a very proud New Orleanian. He was a very proud Louisianian. And I think if any youth who are playing out there, playing basketball, if they could take one thing for him, it's really just his amazing success he had. And a big part of that was just because he worked so hard. Put so much effort into what he did, believed so much in education, and you know, always was trying to get better, and make his community better, make his organizations better. And you know, he taught me so much. He taught so many people in our organization so much. He touched so many people. You know, he is sorely missed. But the number one thing was he wants to continue on and continue on investing in New Orleans and Louisiana. And look, that's what we want to do. We want to continue to make New Orleans and Louisiana proud. This is our state. This is our community. And the bottom line is that we can make the difference. And that's what he wanted us to do, and that's what we'll continue to do.
Well, we thank you. We know how much Mr. Benson and his family continues to mean to the state of Louisiana, and we particularly want to thank you for your continued partnership in this game and all the impact that you're having in the Louisiana community.
And let me just add, I also want to thank Cox as well, because you know, Cox has been a long time partner with both the Saints and Pelicans, and we do a lot for our community, and I also know that Cox does a lot for our community, so thank you very much for that as well.
Thank you, and we look for many more years of continued support.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Well, great words there from President Lauscha of the Pelicans, and now we want to throw it to another important interview that we have on the sideline, another participant from the House side, and Senator Claytor, Representative Marino, who do you have with you?
All right, we're here with Julie Emerson, representative from the Karen Crow Scott area. Introduce her, Joe.
Aren't you the only millennial in the House?
The only millennial, but certainly the coolest one.
Who was the other millennial?
Destin Miller, John Stefanski, Stephanie Hilferty. I think the cutoff is like 36 or 37.
I just missed it.
Yeah.
So you want to do any trash talking?
Well, for the third year in a row, this is my third year to do this, and we keep having all these fake senators playing, and I'm going to have to go to the league about it. I'm going to have to turn them in. Something's going to have to happen with this.
Fake senators, fake budget. It's the year of the fake, so it's all right.
You said no budget talk today.
No budget talk. All right. So when's the last time you actually played and got out there on the court?
2 years ago.
Did you score?
I don't think I did, but I'll try to think about it. Maybe I'll let you know. I'm sure I scored like 30 or 40 points. I just can't remember. It was a slow game for me, you know.
Well, it's a little bit of a tighter game this go-round.
I would have thought you would have come out here with your hair braided for the game.
Well, you know, I would have, but since we still license braiders in Louisiana, I couldn't find anybody.
I'm thinking about getting a weave. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well, thank you.
I was
Back to you
get
guys.
some floral designs here too, but
Good.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Go Tigers.
All right.
Go House.
Well, all these inside conversations going on, you need somebody, I guess I need to interpret.
Yeah. All right, well, we welcome you back, and a good interview there with Representative Emerson as we're getting ready to crank up the second half of this ball game here. And all right, and we're going to throw it to break.
We'd like to welcome you out to Russell Lane Circle. Especially like to thank Representative John Schroeder for his leadership and planning of the annual HoopLA event. It has given us the opportunity to create a safe, beautiful basketball courts across Louisiana for local children to play. We are proud to provide a safe place for local children to play and neighborhoods to come together to enjoy Pelicans basketball in their community.
We have an annual House versus Senate basketball game. It's a charity game. We raise money. We have a little event with food and wine, and people pay to attend that. And we take that money and we do things like this.
These are great, these court unveilings when we're dedicating new courts that have been branded New Orleans Pelicans, because a lot of times like today they're in rural areas in which we can go out there and really spread our message of staying active and playing basketball, which is really a simple message.
This has been a great thing for us to fill the void and provide a nice atmosphere for kids to be able to play and learn and stay healthy.
Well, what a special scene right there, and really what this game means and is all about, and donating one of those courts to the community. And again, not how we planned it, but my good friend Treasurer Schroeder opportunity to sit with me, and you know so much about that. You've been a big part of that, and again, you know, kind of tell the viewers what it means to have one of those courts donated in their area.
Well, these are typically outdoor courts or public courts, and they, you know, it just so happens that a lot of them have gone into underprivileged areas, and they're getting gorgeous courts built for them to play on. And now we've done 10. Tonight will be the 11th court that we've done in 10 years. So, I mean, it's like getting waking up Christmas morning and having a brand new basketball court in your backyard.
Well, yeah, my only question is, was there more gray when you were doing that or after you become, no, don't answer that. All right, we're gonna throw it to break and we'll be back with the second half tip-off of HoopLA 2018. And welcome back to HoopLA 2018. As you can see, the house with a narrow lead there, 21-20. But I understand we're standing with another special guest on the sideline, Senator Claytor, Representative Marino. Who do you have with you?
All right, we got LSU President King Alexander. He's got the keys to the gym, and he also has some pretty good-looking tennis shoes on.
Yeah, actually, and the balls are ours, so they have to let me play. So I'm fortunate to get to play. This is my third year playing with Senate side. It's a good fundraiser, and it's just a lot of camaraderie out here, and it's just a lot of fun.
So, how long have you been a senator?
I'm a senator for about 2 halves every year. So this is my sixth half going into it.
You appear to be one of their better players. Would you agree with that?
I wouldn't say that at all, but
I would agree with that. Did you play a little college ball, King?
I did play college ball and played a couple years overseas in England, but that was a long time ago.
Well, it doesn't look like it. You're keeping us in the game. The game is 20-21, so we're expecting a little more production out of you in the second half.
Okay.
How did you get to be king?
My grandfather's barbershop in Paintley, Kentucky is King's Barbershop. That's as regal as it gets.
We're going to actually keep you talking here all the way until the third quarter ends, because we think that might be good for the house team.
I got to go. Thank you guys for letting me be here. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, King. Back to you guys.
All right, another good interview there with King Alexander, and obviously playing his home gym, no pun intended, since we're here at LSU, and this game has been hosted obviously for many years here at the PMAC, and good to have him open up the gym for this game. And you know, while we're talking about King Alexander, I mentioned earlier that our usual play-by-play guy, Mr. Palermo, was unable to make it, and we're kind of filling in, ad-libbing a little bit, and I've got another partner here that I want to introduce that really doesn't need an introduction, but I've got Mr. Greg Bowser, who's going to help me get through the second half, and he is no stranger to the headset or doing games throughout the community. So, Greg, tell us a little bit about this game, and I don't know how long you've actually been in the arena, but it's a 1-point lead, and you know, what's your synopsis thus far?
Well, I tell you, Jason, you come in and you got a basketball game that's 21-20 at halftime. You know, that in itself just says it all. I mean, but no, these guys do a really good job of getting up and down. The second half is really where you're going to test their stamina, and that's usually when you want to make sure that nobody gets hurt and everybody can still get up tomorrow and go to work. But
and they got a little bit of important work to take care of too.
I guess they got a lot to go, so we'll see what happens. I think these guys are, you know, they're weekend warriors, man. They just come in on the weekend, try to take a couple shots, and you know, now they get out here, got to play a whole basketball game. 20-minute half, that'll wear you out, you know.
Well, we've got another special guest on the sidelines, and let's throw it over to Senator Claytor, Representative Marino, and we can make an introduction again to special guests.
Ready when you are. All right, hey, we're here with Representative Ted James and the newest member of his family, 10-month-old cutie.
It's little Harper. Say hey, Harper. She's enjoying her first HoopLA.
There you go. So I'm enjoying keeping you here on the sidelines. Can you stay with us for about a half hour?
No, you can't get that. I'm going back. I missed my last layup, so I got to go and make another one.
How many points have you scored so far?
I'm not counting. I'm just worried about the team victory.
What do you think about your dad's play so far?
He's the greatest. He's the greatest.
You want to say something?
Are you happy with his performance, or would you like to see a little bit more effort?
So I need Daddy to go back out there so the house can win. You want to grab it?
I've seen that you've played pretty well with Edmund. Edmund's a left-hander, and you're feeding it off to him, and he's kind of driving it in the left-hand side. Can you not do that so much?
Look, we've been practicing. We've been out the last 3 weeks, but the good practice we got in the beginning of the session is paying off.
And does the house have any players that are actually not house members like the Senate does?
No, we stay within the rules on the house side.
Yeah, well, you're 105 deep, 104 right now, I guess it is. Back to you guys. Thank you.
Man.
Well, start of a trend here. We're starting to see all the great players bring their children to the interview session. Stephen Curry last night, Draymond Green, and I guess Ted feels like he should be mentioned in that bunch.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I came in. When I came in, Ted's daughter was asleep. She slept through it, and now she even convinced him that she saw every time he shot the ball.
Multitasking, taking care of the child, dropping a few hoops during the game. Well, you see Stefanski here at the line, Greg, and is one of the new members of the house, but a welcome addition for these guys. Brings some youth, some energy. He's had a good first half.
Yeah, anytime you can get a guy like that to help you out. These old guys in the house, you know, the thing about the house, and you heard him mention it, the house usually play with just house members, and the Senate, though, that you get judges and other guys to come in and help them out because they just don't have the numbers.
Yeah, and then, you know, it catches up with you at the end of the game when you can shuffle players in and out. And we mentioned the 3 members that are playing for the Senate but not in the Senate are Judge Fields, Justice Weimer, and, of course, President King Alexander.
Right.
See the house kind of pushing it a little bit here. And, again, Edmund Jordan, another new member for the house side.
Uh-oh, we were just bragging on Stefanski, and he puts up an air ball.
Of course, he'll say the judge got a piece of that one. I'm not so sure. And you can see Stefanski heading out of the game and being replaced there by, looked like Representative Brass has come in.
Well, I think it looked like, was it Brass or is it Ted James?
Ted
James second place, huh?
Yeah.
They got Senator Milkovic from the Shreveport area. He's now in the ball game for the Senate.
There is Milkovic trying to.
Well, he said that was a pass. That was not a shot. That was a pass.
They didn't play it like a pass, right? It was just as effective. Foul there committed by Representative Ted James, and there he goes, slapping hands and saying, okay, it was a friendly fire there. But we got another interview over there. Senator Claytor, Representative Marino has someone on the sidelines for us.
All right, welcome back. We're with Representative Franklin Foyle from the Baton Rouge area. Franklin, how's it turning out that the Senate is ahead at this point?
Well, it's close. The House comes back. We're already a strong second half team. But it's great to be out here. It's a lot of fun. We're raising money for a good event. And we need to let off some steam. It's been a tense session. This is a great chance for us to get together and visit with each other. It's good.
Why didn't you dress out for the game tonight?
My talents are better on the sideline cheering the team on, and so I'm enjoying the festivities from the sideline, and I think the house will pull it out.
Maybe you should go talk to Coach Smoke and give him a little help. It doesn't seem like we're really running away with this game like we should be.
Well, we should, and I'm going to go try to give Smoke a boost before it's all said and done, but it's a lot of fun to be out here, and we'll see what happens in the night. I think the house will prevail.
Well, thank you, Franklin. Back to you guys.
Thanks, guys. See y'all later.
All right, and while you're away, I think our first female participant has entered the game, Representative Julie Emerson. And you can see her there, District 39, now has the ball.
I don't know, she's trying to figure out.
With the smile.
Put up a three.
There you go, coming off the bench firing.
Judge Fields and Blake Miguez, what a matchup.
Judge Fields kind of with the ISO there, able to get to the rim, and Miguez commits the foul. Now, Greg, you've also been around this game for a number of years, and you know, it started out, it wasn't HoopLA, as you know, and now it's progressed into HoopLA, and just, you know, over the years, you know, tell us what you think and how this game has transpired, particularly with the dedication of the courts and the community and all those sorts of things. So.
Yeah, I think it's been a great community event, and they've really done a great job with it. Watching the game over the years, the game itself, you can tell how it's slowed down. You know, as the players have gotten older, they've really slowed it down a little bit, and you know, you're getting more walking it up the floor. So
Yeah.
it's a different ball game. But I think that you know, the charity that it goes to is a good job. I think it's done a really great job with that.
Edmund Jordan taking it to the hole and getting the foul. And we got a substitution on the Senate side. Just Weimer coming in for Senator Milkovich. You can see there, good look at Representative Jordan as he gets ready to shoot 2 free throws. All right, we're going to bring you back to the sideline again, and we've got another guest with Senator Claytor and Representative Marino.
All right, welcome back. We're with C. Denise Marcial. I've always wondered what the C is for. What is that for?
Keep wondering, Dad.
So it's great that you're out here for this event, supporting basketball courts across Louisiana. Who do you think is going to win the court this go-round?
I was hoping that the house would be ahead by now, but that's not happening, so I don't know.
Yeah, so as far as the courts, it's been Tebow, Scott, and others. Where do you think it's going to land this go-round?
I don't want to guess, but I'm going to be helping them draw the winning court. So why are you not dressed for this game?
Well, I had a little knee injury, but judging from what I've seen on the court, I could have beat these guys.
Even with a knee injury, you could have played better than some of our guys.
I played better than some of these guys out here. I will dress out next year, I promise.
We know she plays hard. They had to take her off the floor of the Senate not too long ago in a gurney. Oh. She plays hard.
Now, you know, that was us below the belt. That was below the belt.
That wasn't my bill that made that happen.
I know. You write good legislation. I can't say that about all my friends.
Thank you. Oh, there you go. Back to you guys. Thanks for joining us today.
Sure.
All right, thank you. And while you were away, Greg, a big-time collision down there at the end of the court. Ted James driving it to the hole, and looks like Senator Walsworth got the bad end of that deal.
Yeah, it wasn't a good idea to try to take that charge. I think, you know,
they come over and kind of shake hands with each other. I'm sure Representative James saying he didn't mean any ill will. Here it is right here. And watch the end of this is where the part I was most concerned about. You know, a lot of times when they hit the floor like that, Greg, they don't get up as fast.
Yeah, you know, they just but Mike Walls was a good sport about it. He bounced right back up and went over and told Ted James about it. They're still ready to play the next, get it going again.
Well, and he's the most experienced vet out there, so he knows how to take them. He's the longest tenured member of both the House and the Senate out there tonight. And, you know, he's also been very involved with this game. He kind of heads up the Senate side, does all the organization. And as we mentioned, when Treasurer Schroeder moved and was elected treasurer on the House side, it's kind of a double-headed team between Representative Jimmy Harris and who you're hearing a lot from on the sideline, Representative Joe Marino.
Yeah, they just have to. It's a good thing for them to pick up the ball and just keep it moving. And again, a really good cause, and they do some really good work with it. And I'm happy to see that they're able to keep it going.
There you go. Good look at Senator Walsworth. All right, and we've got another interview lined up for you. We're going to keep shuffling members of the legislature in and out. And Representative Marino, Senator Claytor, take it away.
We're here with another member of the Italian caucus, Joe, the enforcer, Stagny.
I don't know about the enforcer.
What do you think about the game so far? How are we doing?
We're not doing very well. Some of us used to play basketball 38 years and 40 pounds ago. So right now we got to play a little catch up with the Senate, and we will.
I heard you used to be a good athlete at some point in your life.
Yeah, long time ago. But we appreciate your efforts and Senator Claytor and all of those who, John Schroeder, who put together HoopLA, which is a great event where one night the House can come together against the Senate and try to beat them, and for a great cause, to refurbish a court and for some charities.
Call him the enforcer because it was his job if people didn't pay their money in advance to break people's thumbs.
Well, I hear that could happen out that way. And one of the things that has slowed down the play of the game is when the referees make a call, they have to write it down on a piece of paper and then consult with the coaches individually.
Yeah, I guess that's what they're doing. I hadn't been on the court enough.
Get in there and foul somebody before the game's over.
I'd like to get in there and score some points. We need to play catch up. So we appreciate what you guys do.
Thanks for joining us,
Joe.
Back to you guys.
Well, while you're away, the Senate has taken a 5-point lead and one of the largest margins of this game thus far. It's been a pretty close game, and you can see Stefanski lining up for a three-pointer. Rims out. Senate has it again. So, Greg, we got a running clock. Senate's up 5. If you can apply any sports analysis to a game like this, I mean, what adjustments can be made?
Well, no lead is safe. It doesn't matter. They keep that running clock. Just no lead is safe. They'll come back on you. You watch a couple of bad shots, and all of a sudden the game will change. And the other thing is going to be substitutions, Jason, because they're going to start substituting here in a minute. Stefanski probably. I thought that was going to go down.
Yeah, and the House has been rimming them out. But look, you can see it kind of smart of the Senate here. They're up 5. Slow it down a little bit. Let's see if we can preserve a 5-point lead, which has been one of the largest margins of this ball game. You can kind of just chip away, get little easy ones like that, and extend your lead. Remember, running clock. So, you know.
Good job by Senator Gary Smith. Rebound, put it back up for 2.
Getting the inside position. And the Senate, you see, they kind of sub on the fly. They don't wait for like a stoppage. You know, I guess they've gotten that worked out where, hey, a tired body, we shuffle them in and out.
Yeah, the House seems to want to shoot a lot of threes, thinking that, you know, that's going to be it for them. They're going to try to catch a lot of threes. And
again, you see the Senate being a little more methodical. They're supposed to be wiser on the Senate side, smarter. Let's milk some clock, get it into our playmaker. And obviously, Judge Fields can't hit that turnaround. The House pushing it a little bit.
I think that normally that would be a reach-in foul, but they're not going to call it a reach-in foul. They'll call it an offensive foul on Representative Dustin Miller.
And I've been there
that
before. As you get older, your mind is saying one thing, but your body does something completely different,
well,
right?
You know, your mind says we're going to go over here, but your feet said I'm not ready yet.
Here's the replay. You know, probably not intended there, but look. You know, Miller there coming in like a linebacker, and Rick Ward is no small guy. So.
No, and the other thing is once you get moving in one direction, it's pretty hard to stop and change direction.
All right, we're going to send it down to the sideline again, and I think we've got a familiar face down there, and somebody who really helped me out this game thus far.
Who is also the person who is treasurer. I'm sorry. Did I say state rep? I said state rep. You're not a state rep anymore. You're much better than that. He's the guy who's been running this event for a long time. Tell us a little bit about this event.
Well, this is our 10th year that we've had the game along with the fundraiser that we call HoopLA. You know, we raise funds to build courts. We've built 10 courts so far. We'll pick our 11th tonight. And all the money's raised, we team up with the New Orleans Pelicans, which again is in our 10th year. It's really turned out to be a pretty good event. The game's been played for about 17 years now. So this is the 10th year playing in the PMAC and having this fundraiser.
Are you glad not to be in charge of the event right now?
Well, I thought you were in charge, but you're just standing over here in front of the TV cameras. So I've had to sort of step in and do a couple things and pick up the slack.
I was not planning on doing this. I got recruited. I was asked to do this, just like you asked me to pick up the slack for you since you were quitting.
So as far as the folks that you were able to get other help from besides the work side, tell us about the sponsors.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't do it, Dan, without our sponsors. You know, the New Orleans Pelicans, it used to be the New Orleans Hornets, and we're big help. Cox has been producing this for years. But we normally have about 25 sponsors that donate $1,000 a piece. That's really a good part of the chunk of the money that we raise. We typically raise around 40. But I mean, we've had some long-time sponsors like Entergy, and I said Cox and AT&T and Adams and Reeves, Cleco, Haney and Associates, Louisiana Auto Association, Chemical Association. There's a bunch. There's not very many groups in Baton Rouge that haven't helped us in some way, shape, or form with this event, from donating food, Lucky Dogs, which is Kurt Talbot, State Representative Talbot's family has been donating hot dogs to us since we started. So it's been a great event, but it's really a good way for the legislators to come out and not take their job so serious.
Burn off a little steam and slow them up a little bit, too.
Do you miss not being able to ask harassing questions during committee meetings?
No, I still sit in my office and write questions and send them to people.
I've seen you actually yell at the TV every now and then. Is that normal?
No, it's pretty normal for me to. It's like watching a football game, watching you guys downstairs.
Well, thank you, Treasurer. This is a great event. It's going to help some good people. Appreciate you being with us here.
Well, thank you, and thanks for everybody's help. Well, I didn't do it by myself. Again, this is our 10th year, and now Representative Marino's taking up the reins, so this is his baby moving forward.
Back to you guys.
Well, Greg, just like that, as you mentioned, tied it up, 31-31. House just knocks down a big three-pointer. And before we get into that, I want to also say kudos to you and LCA for being one of the sponsors.
Our pleasure. It's a really good event, and I think it's a worthwhile cause. So we try to participate in that things like that as often as we can.
All right, we're going to send it to break and come back with an exciting finish to HoopLA 2018. All right, welcome back to HoopLA 2018 and throwing out shirts, and you can see a recipient of one of those shirts happy over there on the sidelines. And we've got a tie ball game as we take you down to the 6-minute mark of this game. Again, a running clock, so this should happen pretty quickly here. So Greg, what would be easier to predict? Who's going to win this game, or what's going to happen with the state budget situation here between now and the end of the special session?
Well, I'll take this game because one of these guys, pretty soon, within the next 2 minutes, the game should take shape because I think they'll all be out of gas by that time. If they're not all beat up. Look at the fight for the basketball.
They're scrapping. As this thing begins to wind down, they really want bragging rights. So they dig in a little bit deeper. And as you can see here, the game getting a little bit more physical. And again, Walsworth seemed like he's always in the middle of that traffic. I'll tell you who else who's been impressive. Representative Brass, he's a kind of long, rangy, and he's looks like he's in good shape and causing a lot of havoc on the defensive end.
Well, he's got those fresh legs, too. He didn't play the whole game.
Representative Miguez, and there he goes. He's talking about it. Looks good. That's a left-handed deal there. And you can see Representative Brass looks like he's done this a couple times before.
Yeah, and just that quick, the house up, too.
Yeah. All right, so it's got to be that trio for the Senate. We talked about the big three between Alexander, Ward, and Fields. That's typically the go-to folks on the Senate side. See the House tightening up the pressure a little bit. Got
the big turnover.
Between Stefanski there, again, Brass, and a lot of energy, a lot of defensive energy.
Now the House is taking his time walking it up.
All right, got a miss there. And
look how slow that fast break is really slowed down there.
Yeah, and you get fewer possessions, so you got to think a little bit more about each one. It's got to count. All right, we're going to head back down to the sideline. And speaking of special session, maybe here's a guy who's got a lot of the answers. And Senator Claytor, Representative Marino, take it away.
All right, welcome back. I'm going to introduce the Speaker of the House, Taylor Bra-Ra. Thank you for joining us. When you stepped up to the plate, the score changed. Senate went down.
Well, yeah, I walked into a tied score, and now we're up 2, so that's a good thing. We'll see how long that lasts.
But where do you think the court's going to go this year? Where it's been awarded in your area before.
It has. Acadiana has been lucky, actually two in a row at one point. So hopefully we can pull that off, but we don't mind sharing the wealth with someone else. But a great cause, to the Pelicans and Cox. This has been a long relationship that we have enjoyed, and certainly thank them. And in the middle of the 10th session that we're having, this is a great break. So hopefully everybody comes back renewed tomorrow, or tired or injured, one or the other.
Would you care to comment on the fact that not all the senators are senators out there?
I noticed that when I walked in. I had a hard time recognizing a few faces, but we'll handicap them a little bit. Yeah, we're all right with that.
So when the bench is 104 deep, you got a little bit of an advantage on us. Y'all have millennials and things of that sort. We're mostly old dudes like myself.
And we have a few women as well, so we were happy to see that. They seem to be holding their own as well, so it's good to see.
All right. They also have a justice out there, a Supreme Court justice out there, so we're not going to get any calls.
Yeah, no, everybody's careful not to injure him too. Yeah.
All right, back to you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
All right, and they mentioned 104 members of the House, Greg. That's because one of them left to become, I believe, the mayor of Sulphur and Mike Danahay, so that's why they're down a member. But you just saw the speaker. He's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders in the special session, but good to see him in here and kind of relaxing for a few minutes.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this special session has really been tough on everybody, and I think this game for the first time is going to be a real welcome relief.
Well, it may be what they need right about now, and a kind of a break in a 2-week very impactful session. And maybe they'll go back in with kind of fresh minds and get some stuff done.
Well, with a 2-point lead, the House took their time to make the shot. Now the Senate has a chance to tie this ball game.
Well, and again, you see Judge Fields there working hard and getting a little love over there from the House member, Representative James, and now on the free throw line with the chance here to try to tie it up. And we've got another interview we want to bring you to over on the sideline. Senator Claytor, Representative Marino.
Go, Jeff.
We have Representative John Bagnaris from New Orleans with us tonight. John, how many times have you walked past the camera hoping to get on already tonight?
About once or twice.
And if we didn't interview you, were you going to pitch a fit?
I was going to get mad at you because I was the first one told you, and you need to talk to me.
Right. And why do they call you Swagnaris?
I really don't know. I think one day I came to work real clean.
I think it might have been like that red suit you had on.
The red suit was a knocker. That turned everybody on.
So what about this Senate team? I mean, are they playing fair?
They're garbage.
Oh, now. So, John, has the court ever been awarded to the New Orleans area? It seems like there's been a shortage of getting the court to New Orleans.
I'm trying to get a court. I keep putting my name in, but they never pull my name. I think it's rigged, me myself.
It seems to end up in the neighborhood of the speaker quite frequently.
Or somebody in the rural areas where they don't even play ball.
I think they play ball pretty good out there.
I know in my parks we play ball every day, so I don't know if they use the park every day.
This year, John, I see something different. I have not seen you on the ground at all. Is this a new strategy for you?
It's a new strategy because, the referee told me if somebody was around me, he would have called a foul. But being that I fell on my own,
All right. Back to you guys for the final minutes.
Well, thank you. Minute 31 seconds left. The Senate down by 1 point. And Greg, if there is any coaching that takes place in this game, this is where you got to start thinking about, hey, who's the right person on my squad to have the ball in their hands?
Yeah, who's the best player? Who's going to get a point for you? And if you're the Senate, you got to drive to the basket, take the shot, and hope to get fouled. And they did.
Yeah, that's what they did. And Senator Rick Ward, the last couple of years, has been the workhorse, and using that frame, getting fouled, getting to the line, and an opportunity now. And these are two very crucial free throws, a chance to either tie or go up.
Oh, you got the first one. This is the pressure one here. This is the one that gives you the 1 point lead.
Yeah, now when the House gets the ball, with the lineup that you see out there, Greg, who do you suspect maybe, Coach Smoke is looking to get the ball to?
Well, I think you're going to see the ball in Ted James's hands. That's who he wants to get it to. Ted James is probably one of his better basketball players. And the big question is now, if you're the House, do you wind the clock down and wait for the last shot, or do you just put it up? Well, that's the answer to that. Dustin Miller shoots it up, and the House is going to get the rebound.
Yeah, now you.
Uh-oh.
And I see Senator Shawbear over there calling for a timeout. He had sat down. He and Sergeant at Arms John Miller has been coaching here, and you can see him coming off. And look, I mean, this is crunch time. 58 seconds. House down by 1 point. The question is, at what point do you start thinking you have to foul?
Well, I think you're going to have to do it early. because the Senate's going to just try to hold the basketball.
Well, here you go. Quick shot there by Representative Miller off the side of the rim, and you can see Stefanski been hustling all night, trying to come up with the loose ball for the House, but it turned over to the Senate there, and again, the Senate will have the ball. 58.5 seconds. A running clock here, and you know, you can see over there the House trying to figure out, well, that's the Senate, but of course the House trying to figure out how can they get the ball back. They got to play good defense. Now, of course, if you limit the Senate to only 2 points, you still have a chance to tie this thing up with a three-pointer. You know, what you don't want to do is give up a three-pointer or foul on a three-pointer, because then it could, you know, get out of control a little bit.
The thing of it is, Jason, you don't want to give up a three-pointer, because what happens is these guys have been running the whole game. The legs are gone. Three-pointers are going to be hard to come by.
That's right.
And so, you know, you're probably better off fouling them early on, put them at the line. I think they're in a 1-and-1, and you hope you can. They miss the front end of 1-and-1, you get the ball back.
Well, it looks like for the House we're going to have James, Jordan, Miguez, Miller, and Stefanski. And for the Senate, they're trying to get it together. I see Walsworth. Looks like it's going to be Alexander, Ward,
Mills, and Fields.
Yeah, Mills and Fields. There you go. That rhymes. So that looks like the 5 that they will have. And you can see again Senator Norby Chabert.
I think you have to pick him up in the backcourt if you're the House.
Absolutely.
And, you know, deny the basketball. But once they get the ball in, then I think you just foul early.
Well, and he just takes the ball. Stefanski takes it, a good steal, and with an opportunity to convert there. And still.
They're going to call Stefanski over the back. The House had two point-blank shots at a layup.
Yeah, chippies that you had to just knock down there. But again, great defense by Stefanski. They just couldn't finish. Couldn't capitalize, and again, you're probably going to see. Oh,
well,
no, there's 1-and-1. Yeah, 1-and-1.
And they call it a 2-shot foul.
All right, so we're trying to sort it out here, but looks like it may be President Alexander at the line, and for the Senate, one of your preferred members of your team you would like to see at the line, because he's a pretty good shooter, and he, as he says, he's been training with the students here.
Tell you, the House is going to regret this one if they end up losing this ball game, because they had point-blank 2 layups and they just couldn't make it go.
1-and-1, he missed the front end, so you have a chance here. Look, you don't need to rush it too much here. You want to make sure you get something good. Going to the rim, I think they're going to call a foul there. Senator Ward was not set, so they're going to call a blocking foul, and, you know, doing the right thing, taking it to the goal, trying to get something, you know, close to the rim.
Yeah, if you're attacking the basketball goal, there's a good chance you're going to get a foul. Now, Stefanski has to sit there, and he's got to hit at least one of these 2 shots.
Yeah, and you want to hit that first one. If not, the second one, a lot more pressure. You can see here, Senator Ward moving his feet, clearly a blocking foul there as he gets to the line, and let's see if he can knock down the front end of this.
He got it.
Now, didn't call glass, Greg. And he called glass. Look at it. He's saying he called glass. I don't know about that. But nevertheless, it still counts. All right, here's the one to give the House a 1-point lead here. 41 seconds left, still plenty of time in this game. Wow, maybe he was going glass.
Yeah, I think it's a shot.
Tried to bank 2 of them.
If you send it, do you hold it for the last shot?
I'm holding it for the last shot, or either get fouled and you're in a 1-and-1 situation. So I'd make the House foul me. And it looks like the House is not putting, well, there we go. They're starting to pressure now. That's a tough shot there, but Senator Ward had 2 people. He was
well, they got lucky that time. I think Rick Ward went for the shot way too early.
Yeah, I mean, he was double covered there. They had a double team, and, you know, they don't want to let Ward beat him, so they're going to be looking to double team him, make somebody else on the Senate side. You can see here, tries to kind of reverse. That's a tough shot there. But the House, again, throws the ball away. Opportunity, so it will go back to the Senate with 17.5 seconds left. And again, I think they're back in that same situation. Now, Greg, do you play it out a little bit, or do you go and you foul early?
Well, I think, you know, if I'm the Senate, I'm going to hold this ball till about under 10 seconds and then go for the shot. You're either going to win the game, or you maybe go to overtime, or it ends in a tie.
Yeah, and if I'm on the House side, the rule of thumb for me is extend the game. Let me try to extend the game. Put them on the line. I'm going to force them to make, and the free throw percentage, although we don't have it, there's a pretty good chance that he may knock down both of them. And if he doesn't, you're only down by one. Let's say he knocks down one with the chance to actually win the game. So, I'm thinking I'm going to foul early here rather than let them either sit on it and get the last shot.
Well, I think what you do, traditional basketball, Jason, you're going to deny the basketball, and then if the pass comes in, then you immediately foul the guy.
Now, they're going to be probably looking to pick and maybe get Fields or Alexander moving. Those are the ones, here it comes. It looks like Alexander and Fields, as you can see, are setting up for some kind of pick here so that one of those two can get the ball. Those are the primary ball handlers for this. There's the pick. Okay, so the ball gets in Judge Fields' hand. All right, looks like a hard ISO here, Greg.
Well, he's just holding the ball till the clock goes down.
I think you got to foul. I think this is a mistake. Because now...
Well, you don't want to foul Fields. You want to trap him right this far out on the floor, and he's got no chance of shooting the basketball.
Oh, got it. Oh, okay. Wow, did we...
Yeah, that time he's so far out on the floor, what you want to do when the clock gets under 10 is trap him out there and force him to have to pass the ball way out almost in midcourt.
That's right. If they're going to hold, or you foul early so that you have enough time if they do make a shot to go down and win the game. Nevertheless, they survived there. Tie ball game at the end of regulation. And you can see here they're putting 5 minutes on the clock. We'll do overtime. All right, and as we figure it out, the overtime and what the rules will be, we're going to send it to break, and we'll be right back with you. All right, welcome back to HoopLA 2018 version. As you can see, overtime 34-34. We realize it will be a 2-minute overtime, but there will be stoppage of play, so it won't be a running clock. But before we get into overtime, let's send it over to the sideline for another report over there, and a fellow that's used to playing in this game, and Senator Claytor, Representative Marino. Who do you have with you?
We have Representative Cameron Henry with us. He's the man of the hour as it relates to the budget. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Looks like we have another good battle here, 34-34. I think this is probably when the House is going to excel. The Senate is amazingly out of shape, breathtakingly old, so I think we got it here.
Seems like we've got a little loss in scoring without having you and Neil Abramson.
We're missing some good players, but we've replaced them with some good players. And next year, obviously, everybody will be healthy and we'll come back and we won't have to deal with this overtime mess. But it's entertaining for the folks, and everybody pays good money to come out here and for a good cause. So hopefully we can put this to bed in the next 2 minutes or so.
And how many things have you bought on the auction so far?
I think I've purchased one. I think my children have purchased 7. So
get back to work
I need to get back on that right now.
Get back to appropriating some money over there, please.
Yes, I am. Thank y'all.
Thank you for coming. Back to you guys.
All right, Greg, we're still knotted up. Long three-pointer from Senator Rick Ward. He shot that from what they call the timeline, and I'll tell you what, that's a big 3 points with 50 seconds remaining in this ball game.
Yeah, under a minute to play. So now, if you're the House, you're going to have to hit a 3.
Wow. We got I'll tell you what, Stagney comes right back and says, we'll up you on that, and now we're right back knotted at 37. Tell you what, both of these clubs wanted, Greg.
I'll tell you what, they wanted, but they just don't have the energy right now. You look at them, this thing could go to another overtime.
All right, Senator Smith with the ball, and I hear the Senate calling for a timeout. Did not get it before the turnover here, and all right, 12 seconds left, and the House will call a timeout, and they will have the ball with 9.7 seconds and an opportunity here to dial something up and, try to take the last shot. Now, Greg, a minute ago, we saw the Senate in this very place with about 11 seconds. Now the House has its opportunity time tied up with 9 seconds. So if you're the House, what do you try to do?
Well, you got to get the ball cross court. First of all, the ball's going to be thrown in from the back court. So you got to get it across court. You got 9 seconds. You don't want to get trapped back here. Get the ball up the court. Probably got a chance for somebody driving to the basket and kicking it out for a jump shot.
Okay, I'll put you on the spot a little bit more. If you're Coach Clarence Russ, who do you put the ball in the hands of to take that last shot if you can?
Well, what I would do is I'm going to have Ted James probably bring the ball up, and then I'm going to have him drive and look to either kick the ball out to Ken Brass or maybe kick it underneath to Jordan or somebody like that that's waiting for it.
All right, and you can see the house getting set here. And, man, we talk about 2 special sessions and maybe a third. I don't know. Are we talking 2 overtimes and maybe a third? I guess I'm putting you on the spot again, Greg.
Well, I think if you go to another overtime, it's going to the players are going to want it for a minute. They don't want none of this 2-minute stuff.
Yeah, like we said, both what's going on inside the Capitol and on the court today, it's hard to predict. But I tell you what, both of it very entertaining. We've got an entertaining game tonight.
It was. They get ready to throw the ball in. The house is going to, again, they'll throw it in the backcourt. If you send it, I'm going to come up and pressure him. I'm going to pressure him in the backcourt, see if I can't get something, get the ball trapped back there.
All right, here we go. Stagney with the ball. Looked like it could have been a foul. He takes the last shot off the side of the rim. Wow, got about it. I think, remember, not a running clock. They may come put some time back on here. I thought it might have been at least a second left.
I think they're going to put 1.1 back on the clock.
Yeah, and the difference between that is that when you see that .1, you don't even have time to catch and shoot. But if you do have a second on the clock, you have time to catch and, you know, Hail Mary down the court.
I think if you're the house, though, what you do is force them to throw the ball in the backcourt. They're not going to do that. You probably see the center try to throw a long baseball football pass down the court to the front court, have somebody catch it, turn around and shoot.
All right, we're going to try to sneak in another interview while we're waiting for the teams to get set. Senator Clater, Representative Marino.
All right, we're here with Representative Rob Shadwan.
Hi, Dan.
Hey.
Good to see you, Senator.
It's an exciting game. We got 1 second left on the clock, and it looks like the Senate's going to win again.
It's 37-37 right now, and I think the Senate has the ball.
And this is just like the House of Representatives. Wait to the last second to try to get something done.
We know how to work under pressure. I don't know if we get it done tonight, but we know how to work under pressure.
Back to you guys.
All right, here we go. 1.1, a big lob.
Well, guess what? It's going to be
the clock never started, so
it's going to be a turnover.
Well,
the ball came inbound, so I think it's going to be a turnover to the house.
But the clock never started, and
it's going. Well, the house is going to get the ball on a turnover.
Let's see here. We're having the officials sort it out for us.
Well, it looks like they're saying they're going to go to another overtime.
Yeah, I think if there was no, are they?
They're going to overtime.
Yeah, overtime. I think what happened when they threw it in, it was deflected. Although the clock looked like it didn't start, it would have ran all the time out before the house got the ball, and so that's going to be where we ended. And look, you know, we said second special session. Here we are, second overtime.
Well, we've had, what, 5 or 6 special sessions. We can't take 5 or 6 overtimes.
I'm talking this calendar. Yes.
I mean, you and I can take another overtime, but these guys can't take another overtime.
Well, here we go. We're tipping it off. Senate will control first. Again, not a running clock in the overtime situations. 2-minute overtime. Judge Fields for 3. Rebound, Representative James. Again, Stefanski working the boards hard. Senator Fields with the rebound.
Stefanski just not able to convert.
Yeah, he's good on the boards, but then you gotta hit those chippies on the follow-up. Oh, Rick Ward with a nice crossover and move. That's a big-time move there. Crossover, finger roll, Senate 2-point lead, minute 12 seconds left.
Senate scores first in his double overtime game. Ted James going to take a 3.
Had a good look at it. Now here's where the Senate is definitely going to slow it down. They know they've got a cushion here. The thing here is you don't want to turn it over. And there's the turn. No, I think Senator Mills gets it back. Senate gets a timeout, smart timeout there while you have possession of the ball. Looked like a trouble situation there for the Senate.
Yeah, they were in trouble. But you got the timeout called. That gives you a basketball with a 2-point lead and 47 seconds to go.
Well, here's that big time move. Watch the quick crossover. Boom! And the finger roll, Greg. That's pretty good.
And nobody's going to take that charge.
Yeah, that's right. Senator Rick Ward putting the Senate up by 2. 47.2 seconds left. Senate will have the basketball. They called a timeout. Again, you see Senator Shawbear over there kind of looks like he's designing something, kind of walking through the option scenarios with them. And this has been kind of the lineup through these overtimes. Again, you got Senator Mills, Ward, Fields, Alexander, and Walsworth, and the House is kind of stuck with their lineup. And Stagney, well, we got Dustin Miller out there, Stefanski, James, and Jordan.
It's been the same five the whole both overtime periods.
Opportunity to see some of the kids and family out here. All right, Senate set to inbounds. Alexander with the inbound. Oh. Are they going to bail him out? Are they going to call a foul here? Looks like they're going to call a foul. Not sure which one of how there were three surrounding Senator Ward. They're not sure who picks up the foul, but kind of a bailout thing there. Of course, you want to apply pressure, but you know, you don't want to bail him out. I don't know, maybe a reach on James there.
I think that's what he's calling, a foul on James. One-on-one is the foul, the call.
All right, an opportunity to extend the lead. Senator Ward at the line. Good on the first one. Now that really put some pressure
I'll tell you
on
what,
the House having to score now.
Yeah, if he can nail this one, I think that may just seal this game.
Very well could. This is for a 4-point lead, but no, a House now. What do? Do you get a timeout, draw up a 3-point play?
You got to take a three.
All right, he gets fouled. You still have 31 seconds left. You got to hit these free throws. Good rebound by Miller. Stagney kind of forced up a three there, but good job by Miller getting position with the rebound, going back out strong, didn't convert, but an opportunity to drop 2 free throws here.
I think you got to hit both free throws and then play defense.
Well, he misses the front end. Now, if you make this one still a 2-point game, you could potentially play some good defense here and get the ball back. And he gets one. 2-point game.
Now you just got to play defense and get the basketball back. I think you got to foul right here. You got to foul him. I think you got to foul somebody.
Well, it looks like the House is choosing. Got the reach in. Got Miller.
I thought it was a clean pick. I thought it was a clean pick that time.
And again, not the one you want here. Let's see, we're going to get another good look at it. Let's see if Miller able to pat that away. Whoa,
I thought it was clean.
Looks like he got him on the left side is what they seem to call.
It's 2 shots right here.
Yeah, and Judge Fields, again, one of the better free throw shooters on the Senate team. Let's see again if he can extend this beyond a 2-point lead. All right, he makes the front end. This is the one. This
put it out of reach right here. I think 4 points is going to be too much to overcome.
If he can put it to 4. Now, if he doesn't make it, you really don't have to push it too fast. Get you a good look, but he does make it. Now you have to push it fast. Because you know you need 2 scores, so you got to go. You got to go.
Hey, you don't have to take a 3. You can drive it to the basket and take the 2.
Which Stefanski does, and he's got to hit that.
They're going to call a foul.
On Miller, I believe, down low, reaching, and again, 1-on-1 situation. That's tough, and Stefanski's had some chippies tonight that if he could have just converted.
Had a good look.
Yeah, but I tell you what, he's played hard and provided this House team with a lot of energy. I can tell you he's not happy with himself. Really was thinking he could convert that one there and just unable to come up with the offensive rebound.
I think that should just about do it.
Well, they're going to lead a lot now. They're going to lead a lot to
5-point lead. I think that's it.
Yeah, Ward is feeling it. Knocks them both down. 6-point lead. You got to get a 3 and a timeout.
I think you foul right here for you to send it.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. So you can't get a 3. Jordan fires it up and off the top of the backboard, and I think that at 3.9 seconds, unless you got Reggie Miller on your team, right? I don't know how you can score that many points that fast. And I think that's going to do it, and the Senate will go on to win the 2018 edition of HoopLA, the Louisiana Legislative Basketball Game, and we're going to kick it to break and then come back with some of our final thoughts. Well, welcome back to HoopLA 2018. As you can see, exciting game, 2 overtimes as the Senate takes the lead in the game, 44-38. And Greg, the big time part of the game, the trophy presentation, all the bragging rights.
Goes to the Senate. The House had it last year. I think they had that trophy front and center down in the House chamber. Now the Senate takes it back over, and as one senator said as he ran by, the trophy goes back to where it belongs.
Yeah, that's right, and you can see Senator Peacock there. Again, they don't have all the players and all the legs, but they played a little smarter down the stretch. And go ahead.
They hung in there. They got it to overtime. They fought, and they finally, in the second overtime, when they would have just pulled away a little bit.
And you see the head coach there, Sergeant at Arms John Keller. I was talking to him before the game. He said the only reason they didn't win last year is because he couldn't make it. So now that he could make it this year, he knew the trophy was coming back. So again, kudos to the Senate. I'm sure they will be, enjoying their bragging rights as they go back into, taking care of some very important business tomorrow during the special session. So.
Well, the thing of it is, now that the Senate has won, I mean, we'll see who shows up tomorrow and how much running around they'll do on the Senate floor. That's going to be, that gives them a little extra pep, the fact that you won the game.
Good point. They won on this court, and tomorrow all the bills are in their court too, so they've got some work to do.
They get all the action again tomorrow.
Thank you, and congratulations to the Senate. Great win. I don't know if we've ever had this many overtimes in the game. Yeah, like special session, right? Senator Walsworth, Representative Marino, thank you for leading this, and State Treasurer John Schroeder, appreciate your longtime support, and appreciate the support of the Pelicans and LSU for putting this on today and the partnerships we have. And thank you all to the legislators who gave money to put up this hopefully win of a basketball court, and good luck to all of you.
I just want to say it was nice to have Miss Benson here tonight and the Saints organization, and hopefully we'll make this an annual thing for them to come. Look, John, thank you. We're trying to transition out, but you're still a huge part of it, and our staff are doing a great job. All right, let's pick it out. Christy, you for the court.
And this year, the court will go to Representative John H. Bagnaris, District 100.
Bagnaris, court's coming to your house, and the trophy's coming to our house.
Yeah, John Bagnaris, the winner.
Thank y'all so much. I'm so happy for my district. Everybody here has been wonderful. I hope y'all come back next year and we make it bigger and better.
You'll need to get out there and practice a little on your court, too.
I got a right shot, but I got a wrong leg.
Good. Thank you very much.
All right, again, we want to thank you a tremendous amount for tuning in. Again, HoopLA 2018 version. Again, you can see the trophy there. That's, Eugene Ledoux. He also helps coach on the side. Cox we want to thank one of our, partners in Cox. Been doing this for 17 years, Greg. Again, the Pelicans have been doing this since 2009, and it's turned into HoopLA donating a court tonight. And I see you have a sponsor sheet over there, Greg. Why don't you kind of rattle off some of the other sponsors that we've got there?
We got Adams and Reese, Adventist Consulting, American Health, Atmos, CenturyLink, Charter Communications, Plico, Cornerstone Governmental Affairs, Entergy, Fairpack, Haney and Associates, the Louisiana Auto Dealers Association, Louisiana Chemical Association, LHA Management, Louisiana Home Builders, Louisiana Nursing Home Association, Ochsner, Rawdare Parsons, Southern Strategist, and the Peacock Group.
Well, and for Greg Bowser, I'm Jason DeQueer. Thank you again. HoopLA 2018 Louisiana Legislative Basketball Game. Good night.